Oi, oi. Come on, Munchkin. You can come with me. Oh, what do we got, Munch? Jump it up. Good girl. Okay, let's do this. I already had baseball player. I don't know what it is about. I keep getting the same. Okay, here we go. Motorcycle cop. Oh boy, oh boy. Motorcycle cop. I actually know a motorcycle cop. Art studio. And great exaggeration. Okay. Are there two G's in exaggeration? You know, I'm not required to know how to spell. I can barely play with crayons. Okay, Gemma, I know you're coming over to sabotage. He said, "Oh, it's that time of day. I couldn't wait." She was hiding in her cave. Uh-oh. This is where the Gag Master lives when I'm not using it, right at my feet. Well, come on up. Come on up. Gemma, she got spooked. Not to worry, she'll be back. Okay. And furthermore, we've got a new location for the iPad that's going to time-lapse capture because I decided to go with this larger format, which is 12 inches by 18 inches. I'm going to trim it down to 14 inches, though, but it's a larger rectangle. What are you up to? She's making her way over. Couldn't wait to sabotage. Couldn't wait. Okay. Okay. Here we go, yo. Here we go. All right, so this iPhone is for the live stream. However, we got to push the start button. There we go. All right, now we're good to go. Motorcycle cop. Interesting. This is one of those ones that would be really well suited for a Mad Magazine type of dealio. Because I already have the concept. It's already completely realized in my head. Can you believe it? Last night was a struggle. I did 2 Gag Master challenges last night. Couldn't stand the first one. One of my weakest efforts. Although I will say, when I did the song for the first one, I was happy with how the song turned out. But I mean, artificial intelligence gets the credit there. I mean, I still had to write the lyrics, still had to sit through various renderings of tracks and then extend it. But anyway, this one, I've already got the concept. And this is going to be, I'm going to break the rules here, my own personal rules. I'm going to tell the viewer, you, the one person or none person. Oh, is this a channel for nuns? I had no idea. Anyway, my whole life I've aspired to be a master of nuns, and I'm sorry, that's That's jack of all trades, master of none. I'm sorry. Anyway, so this concept is going to be a motorcycle cop posing on like a platform with his motorcycle in the middle ground, right? And we're going to see like paintings all around. And then in the foreground, we're going to have an artist sitting at an easel. And then there's going to be like one person that's standing nearby that the artist is talking to. And we'll say, and the artist will just say, I paint them as I see them. And on the actual painting, that's where the joke will be. Okay. So this is tough because traditionally, this is where through lack of planning, I always screw the pooch by not having my word balloon or my descriptive narrative mapped out first. So here, I think. Actually, let's do a 3/4 view. So this is the artist, right? And he's got like Coke bottle glasses. Mm-hmm. You see how she is, right? I mean, seriously. Gemma, you are just unbelievable. Demon child. Demon child. Every night you sabotage. Every single night. How do I even manage to get anything that resembles what I'm envisioning in my brain? It's unbelievable. You know, a three-legged stool, this is a complete aside, a three-legged stool is the most stable of all possible things that you could sit on. Why? Because you can't sit on something with two legs, it wouldn't really stand. And something with four legs is always bound to have one leg that's slightly a hair shorter or taller than the others. But a three-legged stool, you're guaranteed, because it's a tripod, to have all three legs touch the ground simultaneously. So there you have it. Wow. Didn't realize I was going to be imparting such ridiculous knowledge. But nobody knows what's going to happen when we get out of bed in the morning, and that is just one of them. It's a byproduct of deciding to actually get out of bed in the morning. Uh-oh. Gemma, what are you doing? You're messing things up. She tried to turn it off. Come here. She's really on a roll with the sabotage. Holy cow. I'm going to kick you off of here if you keep this up. I am going to kick you off of here. Get out of here. Go on. I liked how some of the early Mad magazines, Harvey Kurtzman really had a unique style, and it was like you could tell this was a guy that would just sit and work until he sort of came up with this aesthetic where he was super fast and loose. And also he broke things down into the absolute simplest of forms. Just shapes, you know. Even his serious stuff, when I say serious, like EC Comics line of war books. He did a lot of great war stories, and also did some stories for Tales from the Crypt and stuff like that. And his work, even then, it had its own flavor. It was completely unique at a glance. Everybody who was a fan of comics knew exactly whose style that was. What does a motorcycle look like? I mean, God, this is the part. This is the part that's going to suck, right? So I'm thinking more Judge Dredd here, but you got like a gas tank, and you got like and you got a frame, right? Frame. Then you got handlebars, right? So something like that, and then the cop sitting on his. When I'm thinking of motorcycle cop, I think of that. I think it was Magnum Force, the second Dirty Harry movie. Motorcycle cops were the bad guys in that one, I think. Corrupt police, that's all I remember. And in the old days, they used to have like it was a white helmet with a chin strap. I don't think those are still the style that's in use, but that's the kind I'm gonna draw here. I'm glad I'm using the larger paper because this is kind of like a little more ambitious. And I might be able to get away with something here. Get away with sort of drawing less or maybe this is also one that might benefit from using a pencil just to do tones. Actually, for the first time, have a much bigger word balloon than I need. I thought I did anyway. Okay, so now we can actually, I'm just wondering how long it's going to be before Gemma comes back, because she usually does show back up after I give her the boot. And I need something better than, maybe I should use a brush. I don't know. And then risk having Gemma really mess stuff up and get all inky dude. So that's a recent one. These are recent. That one's not. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. If you're a movie buff, maybe you've seen the classic Cool Hand Luke. This is another one of those characters that the man with no eyes is kind of a shout out to here she comes. I knew you couldn't stay away for long. I was just talking about you, Gemma. What are you doing? Huh? Come on. Gemma. She's at it again. Causing me to screw up. It's unbelievable. I don't know what it is about sitting at the drawing board. She doesn't do this when I'm anywhere else. It's just when I'm at the drawing board. Isn't that right, Gemma? Hmm? I need a third hand because I end up holding like 17 Sharpies. I'm going to get to a point where I think I'm going to start doing these Gag Master drawings in the attic studio upstairs so I cannot be tormented by Gemma. God damn it. How did I mess that up? Well, my perspective is drastically off also because I just noticed that the motorcycle cop is huge. He's like 16 times bigger than the... I usually say 17 times. I was very conscious then to try a different number. Something about the number 17. It just... Did I ever tell you about a three-legged stool? Yeah, I dropped one off in the toilet bowl one day, and it... I thought it was like that chart of early man turning into a... from a fish into a bipedal creature. Three-legged turd came out of the depths and oh, you know what I forgot to... Speaking of turds, okay, that's good enough. So maybe the benefit of using this larger size paper is that I can actually finally break free of the bad habit of my lettering getting screwed up because of the smaller format. I'll find a way. Don't worry. I'll definitely find a way to screw things up. I'm hopeful that I might have a few more successes than failures as a result of the paper size. But even with this giant word balloon, I still found a way to get the letters too close. How did I manage that? And why am I asking you when I can't hear you answer? And when I don't know the answer myself? Well, it's clear that therapy would be a waste of time and energy. So I won't even suggest something so ludicrous and unnecessary. See that? Like, look, I couldn't. Maybe what I'll do is letter with a smaller point Sharpie, and then if I want to thicken it, go with another pass instead of risking the chisel tip breaking free. Speaking of motorcycles, here comes my motorcycle mama neighbor. I don't know if the audio will. Oh yeah, it's gotta be picking that up, right? With the obnoxious rap music. Nothing against rap music, but You always got to put in some squiggles. When I say you always, just to indicate that what we're dealing with here is something that is refracting light, potentially shiny. There we go, that's better. The other thing that's tricky about drawing or cartooning is sometimes you can lose sight of what an object is because it starts to get too busy in its composition. So that's always something that you got to sort of be mindful of. Now I got Alexa talking to me, trying to tell me something about a recipe. I have no idea what she thinks I said, but I really wasn't talking to her. Well, this one's definitely going to be like in the hour time slot because it's just got a lot going on and I got a little busy with it. Last night I did 2. One of them took like 24 minutes, but that's the one that I wasn't crazy about. And then the other one took like 37 minutes maybe. So I actually got 2 drawings done in approximately an hour, which was nice. But quantity is not necessarily gonna ever be better than quality, unless you're talking about rice. That is a skinny motorcycle cop. Wow. Let's beef him up a little bit here. That's enough. Okay. Okay. I see you sneaking up on me, Gemma. I like drawing shadows. I don't know why. I like shadows under things. I think they're fun, first of all. But also, they kind of ground things nicely. So it feels like you're actually accomplishing something that's necessary. Where's my pencil? Where's my pencil? Where's my pencil? Ah, here it is. Okay. This is kind of a gag that's been done before. I'm sure that I can't cite any specific instance, but it's sort of, I don't want to say it's cliche, but there's only so many kinds of different jokes you can do when you're talking about an abstract artist, you know. I think it was important to have 2 exclamation points for the artist's dialogue, just to drive home the idea that it's almost an insult that he would even be asked or questioned about why the work looks the way it does. So that's, so we're coming in, as a lot of gags and as a lot of screenwriters will tell you, the best time to come into a scene or into a joke is oftentimes in the middle or right near the end. So in this case, we've got just one person talking here. So the human mind is really good at filling in gaps, at least for things that don't matter. For things that do matter, sometimes we like to delude ourselves. And I won't give any examples because it's not my place to upset anybody. But anyway, that's just from my own experience, based on my own delusions of the past and having to have a conversation at some point with myself. Like a real sit down checkup from the neck up. That expression, check up from the neck up, you wouldn't believe. So this is one of the things that, as we sort of if we age properly, you would think that we would grow less prejudiced as we age. The reason being, as we age, if we walk through life with somewhat open eyes, then we have to admit that certain people that we've known our entire lives can often surprise us by doing something that we think might be out of character or not something we expect, whether it's an act of compassion or something shocking and negative. It doesn't really matter whether it's positive or negative. The idea is that we are often surprised, and sometimes it's strangers, not necessarily people we know, but we are often surprised at what our fellow humans bring to the table or throw at us, or, you know, their resiliency or lack of resiliency, you know, their ignorance, or if they're illuminated. The point is it's the idea that we can be surprised and that we can then be forced to question our own erroneous beliefs. So if we're honest with ourselves, then the bottom line is going to be we have to admit at some point that we know absolutely nothing about anything at all. And that's liberating. The older you get, the less you're certain of, in other words. Okay. And I have no idea why I started talking about that. So yeah, I foresee great things during senility. Like legitimate excuses for everything. It's when you're in middle age that there's no excuse. You can't get away with anything because you're not a kid anymore. You should know better. But then when you get older and everything goes to hell, and your brain starts to rot, your memory fades, and you end up babbling on a park bench to pigeons. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, this has definitely given me that Magnum Force vibe for this motorcycle cop, which is pretty cool. And I'll share this with my buddy who was, and always will be a motorcycle cop, even though now I think he's in traffic division and he's more involved with solving cases pertaining to random accidents and stuff. So what should I draw on the actual canvas that the artist is painting? That is the question. So I knew as soon as I spun the Gag Master wheel or arrow, I knew after landing on Motorcycle Cop, Art Studio, and great exaggeration, it hit me like blam, like a lightning bolt. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but the missing piece of that puzzle was I stunk up a crucial element of this gag, which is what could make this funnier as opposed to just sort of ha ha ha, right? I switched to sour apple, if anybody was paying attention. I need to get a second brush because my other brush is in the upstairs attic studio. Come on, you. I know you don't want to sabotage me. I know you don't want to sabotage me. I might do a second one tonight after a short break, and that's because I have to work out of town tomorrow. And I got to work out of town. What is today? Tuesday? I got to work out of town tomorrow and Thursday. And even though I'm going to bring the iPad with me and my phone with me, I don't know if I'm going to have time. And I'm trying to be consistent with uploads. They say, when I say they, all the YouTube gurus that have supposedly successful YouTube channels, they all extol the importance of being consistent in your uploading. So I've been trying to do a strip a day. So I might have to set up some kind of a on-the-fly studio. Maybe I'll take this ream of computer paper with me that I use now, but I wasn't really too happy with what I came up with. But at least I'll have it, might as well take it. So keep the box handy. And then if I want to, I can, and if I don't, I won't. I live really close to the hospital, like an eighth of a mile or a quarter of a mile. It's basically right through the backyard, across the street. So there's frequent sirens on any given night, and I don't know if my camera's picking it up, but when the sirens begin to howl, the dogs begin to howl. So yeah, this is definitely a gag that's been done many, many times before. The old abstract artist who's doing something that's, you know, not representative of the actual person that's posing for them. So it's a riff. It's a variation on that riff. I'm trying to go a little bit darker with my pencil for this so that it really stands out amongst the other gray tones. Here she comes! Jamma, 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 jamma. You are such a stinker, stank. Jamma, jamma, jamma. Look at you, little nuzzler. She's a nibbler too. She likes to nibble. This guy, I'm not happy with this guy. He offends me. Something about him's whack. It's that eye. I screwed that eye up. Oh well. What is today's date? Beast, don't you go clawing up my drawing, Gemma. Hmm? Let's get organized. Yeah, I mean, for once, I didn't have to fill up a word balloon with 16,000. See that? I did it again. I guess 16 is the new 17 with 17,000 words. Okay, and there she blows. okay, Gemma. You almost messed me up. I did it anyway. I did it anyway. Come here, beast. Come here, you. You beast. I got you now. I got you. I got you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. More like that. There we go. All right, thus endeth Gag Master Challenge number 16. Cycle Cop Art Studio. Exaggeration.